I'll leave it to it and we'll go ahead.
All right, welcome back to Pre-Algebra, and I called this one 2.1 plus. These are throughout your book, there are little green pages where they teach you geometry as part of pre-algebra, and that is classically considered part of pre-algebra is learning a little bit of geometry. So we can't skip the green pages. So in your book, if you're following along, it's on page 69, and we're going to talk about the ideas of perimeter and area. Now in Atlanta, we're pretty good at knowing what perimeter is, because this is what our roads look like. Here's 75 south, there's 85 south. They join together in the middle of Atlanta called the connector, and then 85 goes off this way and 75 goes off this way, and that's 20 that goes through the middle there. But we have this big road that goes around Atlanta called the perimeter, and most people know the name of that road when they're little bitty kids even. So you start knowing that perimeter means to go around. So in geometry, perimeter is how far around a shape is. Now there was a story once where we had a baseball player in Atlanta, and the stadium was like right there, and he was new to the Braves, and he got on the perimeter, which was a big road. So he thought, I'm in Atlanta, I'm on this real big road, it will take me eventually by the stadium. Nope, he just kept going around and around and around, and he never made it to the game, so they called him Perimeter Pascal Perez or something like that. So anyway, perimeter is the big road that you could just go around and around and around Atlanta. All right, so perimeter of a triangle, you would add up the three sides of the triangle. The perimeter of a square, you add up the four sides of the square, but since the side of the square is the same, you can do just 4 times the side. Now, it's really important that you understand what perimeter is and what area is. I've had kids take the SAT and stuff, kids that I tutor, and they'll say, oh, I remembered there was a special formula for square, and I can't remember it, so I just left that one blank. No, just remember what it is how far around, and you just add them up and you'll get it. Same thing with the perimeter of a rectangle is the 2 lengths added up. Let me write that better. And these are by tradition written in cursive. The 2 lengths plus the 2 widths. That's how far around it would be. Or you could do 2 times the length plus 2 times width. So if the side of this square is 7, it would be 4 times 7, which would be equal to 28, would be the perimeter of that square. And this, if the length equals 9 and the width equals 5, 2 times 9 is 18, and 2 times 5 is 10. This would be 28. Okay? So, those were both ended up being the same, didn't they? All right. Yep. Okay. And now, area. So area, perimeter is how far around. Area is like if you were getting a carpet, how big would you need to cover it? How big would you need to cover that square? How big would you need to cover that rectangle? Okay? How you get area, the bottom line formula is length times width. By tradition, once again, written in cursive. So if it is area of a rectangle, it's length times width. So if we had that rectangle over here that is 5 and 9, 5 times 9 is 45. Area of a square is the same thing. So if we had this one that is 7 on each side, the length and the width are both 7. 7 times 7 is 49. Now you could do it as 7 squared. Those are the same things. But if you forgot it, you could just do 7 times 7. And that was the one in particular that I had a girl say she just forgot it when she took the ACT. So she left it blank. I was like, no, don't leave it blank. All right. The area of a rectangle is 1/2 base times height. But I want to show you that it's really length times width again, just like these are. That's the length, that's the width, and this is 2. If you have a square or a rectangle and you cut it in half, what do you have? 2 triangles. So it is the length times the width, and then if we wanted just the triangle, we would divide it by 2. That is actually the same as this. We call the width the base and the length here the height, but it's the same thing, and we do times a half is the same thing as dividing by 2. So really it's that same formula again. So if we have this one, area equals 1/2 base times height, and our base is 9 and our height is 8, we would do 9 times 8 divided by 2. You could also do 20, I think it's 28, but you could just do it on your calculator. I wanted to show you a little trick for multiplying your 9s if I have enough time. I do. Okay, so this is how you, in case you aren't good at your multiplication tables. A lot of kids aren't in pre-algebra because a lot of you don't memorize well what I call in a vacuum. You have to apply it to a real problem for you to be able to learn it. You're not good at just flat memorizing things that aren't attached to other things. Okay, so you can do your 9s by turning down fingers. So 9 times 1, I want to do it this way, okay? 9 times 1 is 9. 9 times 2, see how I've been down my second finger, is 18. Well, 1 in the tens place and 8 in the ones place. 9 times 3 is 27. 2 in the tens, 7 in the ones. 9 times 4 is 36. 9 times 5 is 45. 9 times 6 is 54. 9 times 7 is 63. 9 times 8, the one we're doing right now, is 72. It's a little hard to do. 9 times 9 is 81. 9 times 10 is 90. So this one, 9 times 8, is 72 divided by 2. We need to, we could do it on our calculator or figure it out. So on your calculator, let's do it this way. 72 divided by 2 equals 36. Ta-da! All right, so our area of that triangle equals 36. All right, so that is perimeter and area, and it's important, and you'll have a little bit of homework on it, but math is fun.